friends, and annoying siblings. I'm so honored to be here today with all of you to commemorate this major milestone in my life and that of my fellow classmates. It's been a long journey, but it also feels like it happened so fast. During this time, I think we all looked forward to this moment as our prize for the hard work of the last 4 years. But as we're about to get what we've been striving for, I'm reminded of a story told by Richard Feynman. Feynman was one of the greatest physicists the world has ever seen. Every bit as smart and eccentric as Albert Einstein or Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory. He was a pioneer in quantum mechanics, a field of science that tells us that everything in the world, from the flight of a tennis ball to the cooling down of a coffee cup, is ruled by probability, odds and chance. So as he tells it, one night at about 4 a.m., his phone rang. Professor Feynman, hey, why are you bothering me at this time in the morning? I thought you'd like to know that you've won the Nobel Prize. Yeah, but I'm sleeping. It would have been better if you had called me in the morning. Now we're all pretty cranky when woken up in the middle of the night. But seriously, this was the Nobel Prize. The biggest prize in all of science. A crowning achievement. But I guess that's the point. Feynman didn't really care. The true goal all along was the work he had already done to earn the medal, and the work he would continue to do for the rest of his life. Today, class of 2013, we will be getting our prizes. Oops. We will be getting our prizes. We will be getting our diplomas. And let's face it, we have some right to brag. I mean, really, we had to survive 4 hot Junes in a building with no air conditioning to get here. But as with the Nobel Prize, not including the $1.5 million bonus that it gets you, the diploma was never really the goal. The work we did, the things we learned, the friends we've made, and the adults we've become are the real prizes. And as we go our separate ways and move on to do new things, we will keep getting rewarded. So what's the importance of today? Well, I think it's a chance to step back and be proud of a milestone, one of many to come, hopefully. And knowing that we couldn't have done this alone, it's a chance to give thanks. First and foremost, I'd like to thank my parents. They've always been very supportive of me with what I do, but they never did everything for me. They would never tell me the answer to anything. Dad, what does this word mean? Handing me a dictionary, he would say, look it up. Mom, where do babies come from? Pointing to the computer, she would say, look it up. Wait, no, don't look it up. At one point, I thought they didn't know the answers to the questions, but I realized that was not the case. They just wanted me to learn for myself. And to be completely honest, it was annoying. Thank goodness my teachers were around to actually answer some of those questions. So, on behalf of all the students, I'd like to thank all of our teachers. We will always remember the time you spent teaching us and each of your unique styles. Mrs. Villar, engraving physics into our heads with 1 million practice problems, Ms. Volpe making chemistry extremely fun, and introducing me to Richard Feynman by lending me his autobiography, and Mr. Yeager with his catchphrases like, ready, set, let's begin, or, oh yeah, that's some good coffee. And to all of you that have taught us throughout the years, we'll always think of you for decades to come when we're repeating something we learned for the first time in your class, or just sitting in a cafe having a good cup of coffee. I'd personally also like to thank our tennis coaches, Coach Silverstein and Coach Luciano. They have, against all odds, from a 1-22 season my freshman year to the best record in school tennis history of 27-3 this year. And finally, I'd like to thank my fellow classmates. It's been amazing sharing this experience with you. I think back to the time Reggie Dabb spoke to us. For those of you who don't know, Reggie is a motivational speaker who for over 20 years has been one of the most sought-after speakers for public high schools in the country. The first time he addressed our class, he unexpectedly played us some Alicia Keys on his sax. After that performance, we were all really excited to see what inspirational music he had in store for us the second time he came to speak. Right before he started to play his song, the entire gym went silent. The next moment, this is what we heard. That's right. He played Justin Bieber's Baby on the sax. As memorable as that was, and let's face it, we all want to forget that song. But I think the thing we'll never forget is what he made us do in that thing. Yeah. He asked us to turn to the person to our left and right and say, "I got your back." It was a simple, gimmicky exercise, but powerful nonetheless. It reminded us of the bond we formed as classmates at Vineland High and the responsibility we have to each other. There are so many more stories and memories from the incredible experiences we've shared. But I'm sure when we see each other over the summers or at reunions over the coming years, we will retell them. Honestly, that's the real prize. The journey we've been on. The journey we're still on. But today, we haven't really reached the destination. We're just celebrating the ride. As Richard Feynman offered up as advice for work and life, fall in love with some activity and do it. Nobody ever figures out what life is all about, and it doesn't matter. Explore the world. Nearly everything is really interesting if you go into it deeply enough. Work as hard and as much as you want to on things you like to do the best. Don't think about what you want to be, but what you want to do. Will most of us eventually find what we want to do and the kind of passion Feynman had? Looking around today at my friends over the last 4 years and the people that have had our backs, probably. I like our odds. Thank you.